Mission First Tactical is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
Okay, Leadheads, as promised, here is part 2 of our interview with Chief Warrant Officer Greg Coker, and we're picking up right where we left off. Well, he was telling us about the time that he was shot down, didn't crash, was shot down when he was doing an operation outside of Fallujah. So I started it at the beginning of when he started that tale just for your convenience. So no thanks necessary. But dive in. He's got more stories to tell. We talk more about blades. We answer your listener questions and more. And while you guys are listening to this episode, go ahead and go to Greg's website, Blades for Brothers, which he started that company to empower and enrich the lives of America's veterans, combat wounded veterans, first responders, and families of fallen service members to help them through their troubles. And then he's also got a link on there where you can go and check out his book, Death Waits in the Dark, 6 Guns Don't Miss, which he goes into even more stories and details about his 22 years of service. So he's got some amazing stories in that book. So go check it out. Go buy a copy. Hit him up on the Instagrams, and he's at Blades for Brothers on the Instagrams. Let him know you heard him here on the show and you appreciate him taking the time to be on and share his stories and to keep up the great work.
Whiskey River Beef, farm to table with a twist. Come along with us on a quest towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production and fostering a robust local food source to promote good health. Stock up with premium Tennessee beef, unparalleled in flavor and tenderness. You can be confident that you're receiving beef with no added growth hormones or implants. Always pasture-raised, locally USDA processed, and shipped straight to your home. Whiskey River Beef is grass and whiskey mash fed and finished, and is at least 14 days dry aged to enhance the tenderness and give you the most robust flavor imaginable. Go to whiskeyriverbeef.com today to order. Visit us on Instagram at Whiskey River Life and on Facebook at Whiskey River Beef LLC.
So we didn't talk about the crash, so let's get back to the crash. We chase squirrels on this show, Greg.
Yes, we do. Now, I want to get one thing clear.
All right.
I did not crash. I got shot down.
Okay. You didn't screw the pooch.
All my buddies said, like, hey, Gravy, tell us about your crash. I'm like, I didn't crash. I got shot down. That's different. So, okay, so, and I'll proceed it with 18 March 2004. So we're operating in Fallujah, Ramadi, real heavy. The insurgency is building. It started about October, November 03. You know, everybody came to jihad against the Americans. We were all centrally located. So the terrorists like, well, heck, let's just go there and fight them, you know? So we started to see a big influx of terrorists, yes, in Iraq. So, gosh, man, we've been going and blowing for days, and we hit a target in Fallujah. Well, we hit several. We'd hit, depending on winter or summer, and this was, you know, late winter, so we could hit 5, 6, 7 targets a night because we have more darkness than we do in the summertime. Summertime, we're lucky to hit 4.
And you guys only operate at night because you are the Night Stalkers.
Yes, we are not day stalkers. We are night stalkers. So, yeah. And the units we support are also night fighters. So, yeah. So, we got some intel off of the target that another high-value terrorist we were hunting was going to be at a meeting at 10 o'clock that morning in Fallujah. Okay. Now, let me set the stage for Fallujah, Iraq in 2004.
Okay.
It was the Wild Wild West. I mean, it was crazy. We were in gunfights every night, multiple times per night. And so I'm going to try to draw a picture for you. So if you look at Fallujah, and then west to Ramadi, and then kind of southeast down to Amaria. That makes a triangle.
Here, let me pull up a map.
Sure.
Spell Fallujah.
F-A-L-L. It's spelled different couple of ways.
U-J-A. There it is.
Yeah.
Fallujah. Let's go to maps. All right. Fallujah.
Then west to Ramadi.
There's Ramadi.
Yeah. And then kind of to the southeast, just east of the lake, there's a little town called Amaria. I don't even know if it'd be on there. Keep going down south. Dude, not that far south.
There's a Al Rahala.
No, it's further north than there. Yeah, it's kind of small.
Yeah, they're not.
There's a lot of terraces.
So
there.
something like
triangle.
this.
Yep. So in that triangle, God, there were thousands of foreign fighters. Thousands, right? So we get, intel hunting Al-Qaeda networks. So we hit a target in Fallujah that night. We got intel. There's this high-value target we were hunting. He was going to be at a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 19th in Fallujah.
Right.
Of course, we were like, oh, God, daytime. No. Anyway, so troop commander, sergeant major, they're like, hey, here's what we're going to do. AHs, you guys we had a little staging area just east of Fallujah. It's like, you guys just stay here, crank up, and then we're going to go hit the target. And if we need fire support, we'll call you. And we could be there in a couple minutes.
Right.
Pretty quick. So that's what we did. They hit that target. They got some more intel that another dude we were hunting was in Amaria, down south. So Sergeant Major said, hey, AHs, you guys go back to Baghdad and get some rest. And we, like I said, we've been going nonstop for days and days and days. So we're like, roger that. So the ground force said, hey, we're just going to drive down there and kill the guy, and then we're going to go back to Baghdad. Okay. So we go back to Baghdad, and it was, I don't know, around 12:30-ish that guys came running in and says, hey, the recce guys got hit. They're in a TIC, Troops in Contact, a TIC. We just call it a TIC.
TIC.
It stands for Troops in Contact. So they'd been ambushed. So the four of us, we ran out to our AHs, cranked up. It was a 10-minute flight, 10, 12-minute flight out there to them. So we get on station and start holding. We make comms with the ground force, and it was B Squadron Delta, and trying to get an update or a situation report, and is everybody okay? And we did a couple engagements. Dudes were trying to flank, it appeared, and engaged them, terminated them, and then we were all just like, God, man, daytime, we're in the worst possible place on earth right now for bad guys, and we're in little black helicopters. Oh, gosh, I remember on October 3rd, 1993, in a little place called Mogadishu, Somalia.
Oh.
Same thing. Day hit, Black Hawk down. Ugh. And for me personally, the hair, when I cranked my helicopter, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. I was like, man, okay, we're going. And my co-pilot, he was brand new. Brand new to the company, but we were short guys. And, there's at any one time, there are only 22 men on the planet that do what we do. And that's fly AH-6 attack helicopters, providing Special Operations ground forces with surgical precision fire support. We are fire supporters.
You have a very specific job.
Very specific. And the ground force has full faith and confidence in our abilities to shoot extremely close to them. Okay? We train with live people run on the ground. We train with live ammo. Every training iteration is a live fire. But that's how we train, and that's why they are the best on the planet, bar none. I spent 15 years there. And oh, by the way, we're also very, very close. We love one another very much. And we always know that if anything bad happens to us, they will come get us. And they know if anything bad happens to them, like today, we're going to come help you. We're going to come get you. So kind of an unwritten rule between us. And, just flying out there, man, I mean, I was just hypersensitive. Of course, I hate flying during the daytime. It's scary.
Right.
I like those tubes in front of my eyes, and my world's green. I am safe. I actually fly better at night under night vision goggles.
You probably got more hours with those, don't you?
Yeah.
Probably got more hours flying with nods than not.
Yeah, I got over 6,000 hours flying with NVGs.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I got more time under NVGs than most guys have flying.
Yeah.
Anyway. So everybody was hypersensitive, but the guys were in trouble, and we didn't have a clear picture of what was going on the ground. Had they taken casualties? Did they need to break contact? How big a force? So we hauled ass, man. We
and
jumped.
Where are you picking them up at again?
Pardon?
Where are you hauling ass to?
Down to Amaria, where that recce team went to go kill that guy.
Down south of that lake there.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
South of Fallujah. I think it's about 14 miles, something like that, from south of Fallujah. And we were in Baghdad, at Baghdad International Airport. That's where we were all living then.
Okay.
And then we later on in like 05 moved up to Balad. But anyway. So yeah, and I told my co-pilot, or in our SOP and B company, whoever's not flying, you've got your M4 up, ready to engage or suppress.
Right.
That's just how we do business. And I told him, I said, dude, if you even think, man, I want you to start suppressing or shooting them. And we do have a training program that I actually developed back in the early 90s. It's called HARM, Helicopter Aerial Rifle Marksmanship. And I can guarantee a first shot hit at 80 knots and 100 yards from a target, shooting out of a moving object. So there's some science to it. But anyway, and we train that stuff all the time. But so we get on station and make communication, make comms with the ground force, and get a situation report, what's going on. And they had done what they needed to do, and they were all lined up on this road. And now we're just in Overwatch. We fly a circle around whoever we're protecting.
Right.
They had 2 Panders, which is an armored, big 6-wheeled armored vehicle, and then they had 3 gun trucks. So they're Humvees, up armored, and then they have 50s, and then one truck had dual 240s in it, and then the Rangers manned those guns in the trucks. So, yeah, we're overhead, and we're doing close reconnaissance or recce's, make sure nobody's trying to get to them or flank them or do whatever. And it was about 1:15, so 1:15 p.m. Iraq time. And the troop commander just called and said, "Hey, we're going to the house." We're like, "Whew, roger that, man. Let's get this hell out of here, dude. It's a bad place."
Yeah.
So
we're exposed here. Get us out of here.
Yeah, and I did. I kept thinking of, Mike Grant and Shugart and Gordo and all those guys Elvis, all those guys that were, there in the Moog that day. And I was like, doggone, man, we got to get out of here. Of course, I was probably 10 feet off the deck, and I'd pop up, and I didn't want to, straight and level. And we both
moving target so they can't hit you. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do, and we're trained to do. Keeps us alive. And I'd come around and I did a real low pass over the trucks. You know, I was turning up on the side, and we kind of wave at each other, and then we go on, so I'd done that, and I was in a climbing right-hand turn. I was about 165 feet and heading to the southwest, and just all of a sudden, man, just this explosion. I mean, a big explosion. I've been in mortar attacks and rocket attacks and been hit by that fragmentation and stuff. And then just the whole aircraft shook, and then this white hot rod about 3 meters long went right by my right ear. I had my helmet on, but went right by my head. And my co-pilot, he was kind of looking into the turn, and he saw it. And he was like, "Oh my God, man! It was crazy."
What was it?
It was an SA-16, which is a very technologically advanced Russian man-pad system. So it's a shoulder-fired IR seeker. So it shoots down aircraft.
Okay.
That's its whole mission. And we were the 8th helicopter shot down in that triangle. And it had been nicknamed the Devil's Triangle for a reason. And we're the only crew to survive out of those 8 helicopters.
Oh, man.
2 of them were Chinooks full of troops. So bad days. Yeah, I think there were a couple Marine helicopters shot down, some Army, and then us. And we were the last one. I got a theory about it. It's in my book. Read it. Read about it. I won't
read a book.
Yeah. But, so, and at that nanosecond, the human body is an amazing machine. It's incredible. I mean, we start to dump adrenaline and all these great chemicals to fight or flight, and then our training kicks in. Okay. So, and I'm an IP. I'm an instructor pilot. So I've done, hundreds and hundreds of auto rotations. Mm-hmm. And the 160th, we're still the only unit that does an auto rotation all the way to the ground. The regular Army people, they can't touch down. They have to do a power recovery. And I understand it's to save on tearing up helicopters, because young pilots make mistakes. So, and the best way I can explain this is that from that moment until I touched down, which was approximately 3.4 seconds, that my life, my vision was a frame by frame by frame in slow motion. And what doctors tell me is that's that adrenaline and that slows our brain and all these other great chemicals that we release under stress or under duress. And it's like an old, a movie reel, you just see it frame by frame by frame by frame. Well,
yeah.
That's what I saw. And
when you say you saw your life, it was what was going on at your life at that time, or you actually like flashbacking through your life? No.
I was completely task at hand.
So everything you were doing just seemed like it was slow motion.
Slow motion, yes.
Because your mind probably going so fast.
Oh, yeah, man.
I think that's why it seems like it's slow motion. Just like you said, the adrenaline and everything's going.
Yes. Yep. So I entered an auto rotation. And, of course, when the engine quits or you have something mechanical in certain helicopters, you'll get warning lights. We have a caution warning panel. And then you get tones and engine out light, engine out tones, and all these things are screaming at me because that missile hit the engine. So it, blew up my engine.
Is this a ground missile that hit you, or is this from another aircraft?
No, it's a shoulder launch. Yeah, man-portable air defense system, man pads.
Is it shooting the metal, or is it shooting actual like rockets and stuff? Because you said you saw this big metal.
It's a missile that has a heat seeker on it. So it seeks heat. So they shoot down jets and any engine, anything that emits heat. That missile will chase it and
go to
those
the hottest thing.
Particular models, they have a proximity fuse, so they can set it and it say, okay, at 10 meters we want this thing to explode, so it frags, and then and you get maximum, unlike a tank round. It just hits and explodes, or depending on the round, if it's a heat round.
So what went by your head? That was some of the fragmentation from that
rocket motor. That was the rocket.
That was the rocket motor. Oh, dang.
Yep. Yeah. So at the angle. So let's say this is my aircraft. The missile came up like this, went to it proxed right behind the engine, and then went right by my head. The rocket motor. Oh and God. It fragged. I got fragged all on the side of the face and my neck and stuff. And I went to work, entered an auto rotation. And that's a procedure that we do and train to in all helicopter pilots. So it's just a powered off landing. So you lower the collective, you put your pedal in because the aircraft's going to yaw because it's loss of power.
Right.
And you get it in trim. But that particular model of helicopter, and it's kind of, the joke in aviation, that thing falls out of the sky like a greased crowbar. It falls really, really fast.
Yeah.
Just around 2,600 feet per minute.
You're not going to get any glide out of that. Yeah.
No, and it's due to the rotor system and some other things. But we were blasting out of the sky there, and as a aviator or helicopter pilot, we always use something vertical to judge your distance off the ground, like trees or a pole or houses, or because we use those things in the procedure of an auto rotation. At 75 feet, I have to start a decel. So I want to start bleeding off the airspeed that I'm carrying. I was doing probably 65, 70 knots when the missile hit me.
Mm-hmm.
You start bleeding off, and then at 15 feet, you're going to pull initial with the collective, and that's just to kind of slow the helicopter down. And then about 5 to 10 feet, you're going to level the aircraft, and then you're going to pull your cushion, so the rest of your collective, which puts pitch in those blades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They bite the air, and it's like doing a landing. It's just like a powered off landing is what we're doing. So we have a radar altimeter, and it's just dirt out there. It's just nothing to look at or nothing to see.
You got no reference points.
No reference at all. So, and in an auto and the little bird, you just look right between your pedals because that's where you're going. You look down through the chin bubble between your pedals. That's your circle of action. That's where that aircraft's going. And I do remember that I was in the worst condition for conducting an auto rotation that I could have been in. I had a 20-knot tailwind. You always want to be into the wind in any aircraft because it gives you lift.
Yeah.
And I had a pretty strong tailwind. I was heavy. I had full of gas, rockets, ammo, and we hadn't shot much on target. But so I looked at my radar altimeter. I remember seeing my rotor RPM. It got high. It got to like 105.4. So I just snuck a little collective in to put some angle in the blades to slow them down a little bit.
Pitch.
If you let it get too high, the rotor system will just spin off the helicopter. Plus, all these sirens are going off in my head, and I'm like, God, I wish these things would shut the hell up, man. I'm trying to work here. I don't have much time.
Of course, you just had a bomb explode next to your head, too, so it might be a little ringing from that.
And it was real quiet other than,
all
those signals going off. And so I kept checking my radar altimeter, and I said, okay, at 75 feet-ish, I'm going to start my decel. I don't know the condition of the ground So I'm going to get as much of that airspeed off as I can so I don't slide very far after touchdown. I didn't know if it was rocky, if there were craters, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'd been taught to do by Mr. Fred Horsley. He was my IP. And in that situation, he got shot down in Panama, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we call him Uncle Fred. He passed away a few years ago. But anyway, yeah, him and George Kunkel got shot down in Panama during the Kurt Muse raid. So they were landing at the prison to rescue Kurt Muse, and Fred's job in an AH. There was a 50 cal right across the street. So the AHs came in and shot and killed the 50 cal and the dudes up there.
Right.
Fred got shot down. He crash landed at the front door of the Comandancia.
At the front door.
That guy's lived. I'm not kidding you.
Oh,
That's
my
another story.
gosh.
But so at 75 feet and you're doing a scan, man. You're looking at rotor trim, radar antenna, rotor trim, airspeed, all these things, just nanoseconds.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing every number, everything in that cockpit.
But again, all this 3.5 seconds from impact to touchdown.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Yeah, this is
yes,
unbelievable.
They put all the dynamics into a computer at port record. That's what the computer said, 3.2 to 3.4 seconds. So at 75 feet, again, I started my decel, very aggressive, bleed off some of that airspeed as I was thinking. And then you just kind of ride it down. And then it was about 25 feet because I knew I had a tailwind and I was heavy. So at about 25 feet, I said, hey, it's like Neil Armstrong, right? When he was landing on the moon.
Yeah.
You only do it right once. If you know that story. And he only had one shot. And I'm like, hey, when I see 25, 20 feet, I'm pulling everything. And I did.
Yeah. It's kind of...
I leveled. It was around 20 feet. I just pulled everything. And the other AH, they heard it, so they turned and they're like, oh, shit, Greg's on fire. And I leveled and I touched down. And, man, I was like, this wasn't too bad, my co-pilot later, he was like, dude, that was the softest landing I'd ever experienced,
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
So, I mean, literally, you did not crash. You landed.
Yeah, I landed.
You landed.
And even the other AH says, dude, your landing was beautiful. It was perfect. I said, well, just like Neil Armstrong, man. And,
so the two of you are on the ground now.
Yep, we're on the ground, safe and sound. And, of course, big dust. It's just dirt dust, man. It just filled the cockpit because we don't have doors on our aircraft.
Yeah.
No little birds. No 160th aircraft fly with doors. And there's some reasons for that. I won't get into it. But mainly so we can shoot out of the door with
Sure.
our rifles, shoot bad guys. So cockpit filled up with dust. We're sliding now, okay? Sliding across the dirt. And I'm thinking, I was like, holy smokes, man, hey, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go back and get another helicopter. Come back.
Be back in an hour, yeah.
Yeah. And so we slid about 35 meters. And the reason I know this is because we went back later to the crash site. And I did a drawing.
Wasn't a crash.
No.
There was no crash site.
No, it was a shoot down site. So we slid and then went down a bit of a slope into some soft dirt, and the skids stuck. And when they stuck with that forward momentum, I don't know, probably 30, 35 miles an hour at this time. Yep, we went end over end. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. If you look at that helicopter without the main rotor and the tail boom, it looks like an egg.
A little egg. Yeah, a little oval.
Mr. Hughes designed that helicopter that way for a reason. So if it did roll, it would roll like an egg, and it would keep the occupants in the cockpit safe.
Yeah.
And not crush them.
Like a baby chicken in an egg.
Yes, sir.
Hey there, Leadhead Brigade. Lefty here with some important news for you. Forecasters from the University of Arizona warn that 2023 will be a very active hurricane season, and they're asking people to get prepared. They're expecting the number of major hurricanes this year to be similar to 2017, which saw the extremely intense and damaging hurricanes that we all heard about, Harvey, Irma, and that nasty old Maria. How bad can it get? Well, when Hurricane Ida hit the Gulf Coast, it destroyed countless homes and left many without access to food, clean water. Millions lost power. Most didn't have power for weeks. The floods that followed the hurricane washed out the roads, made it impossible for grocery stores to restock their shelves. Families were left hungry and desperate, waiting for help that was slow to arrive. But what if you didn't have to be reliant on the government, FEMA, your neighbor, grocery stores during these crises? The answer is simple. Be prepared with emergency food kits from 4 Patriots. Their long-lasting, delicious food options are specifically designed to provide you and your loved ones with the sustenance you need when you need it the most. 4 Patriots survival food kits are hand-packed in the USA. They last 25 years. They come packed inside covert storage totes. They include a wide variety of delicious breakfasts, lunches, dinners. They've even got some snacks that are tasty. And they're backed by thousands of 5-star customer reviews. Just go check out their website, 4patriots.com, and read them for yourself. 4 Patriots survival food is not just for natural disasters, because in today's world of uncertain supply chains and unpredictable emergencies, it's more important than ever to have a backup plan. Whether it's a temporary power outage, a winter blizzard, or rising food costs, which we're all feeling that these days, right? You can rest easy knowing that you have a reliable source of food to see you through it. And right now, you can go to 4patriots.com and use this exclusive code, LEADHEAD, all caps, LEADHEAD, one word, to get 10% off your first purchase on anything in the store, not just their food kits. So go check them out, 4patriots.com. Use the code LEADHEAD to get 10% off your first purchase of 4 Patriots survival food. That's 4patriots.com, guys. Use the code LEADHEAD and get that 10% off.
So, and being, and I remember these little thoughts and snippets and all this time. But I remember the aircraft coming up, and it reminded me when I used to break horses and train horses, and you get those old buckers. Well, they drop their old head, and your feet go, and you get back, and I remember doing that. I was like, but it got over that, that pivot point.
And it launched you.
Yes. And just, we rolled, and I'm almost positive it knocked me out. Well, it cracked my helmet. I hit the door frame in the shoot down post. Crash seek. Now we're in a crash.
Now you're in a crash.
I did it though. I did everything I could do. I tried to do it right, and it cracked my helmet, and I came to, and it was just it was like fog. It was just all that dirt and dust, stuff flying. Well, everything.
Are you upside down at this point? Or are you upside?
Yeah, we came to rest inverted on my side, and it dislocated this shoulder, bunch of other stuff. But
yeah,
I came to, and we're upside down. I was just like, oh, thank you, Lord. But I'm awake. So what's the rest of me? And if you've ever been in a traumatic event, we always I start at my toes and I wiggle my feet, move my feet, I move my leg, my right leg,
you
and
touch
then I move my
everything.
hands, you're like, oh, whew, okay, I'm here. And I kind of went through that process in a couple of seconds that it took. But then I was like, I kept hearing this popping noise, and it was not gunfire popping, it was just popping. And I'm like, that popcorn sounds weird out here today, Well, it was the ammo cooking off right behind my head.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were fully engulfed in fire.
Oh, damn.
And the guys, there's actually a picture taken of me on fire coming out of the sky. One of the Rangers took a picture.
You got a
of it.
picture of it.
Yeah,
Got a nice Polaroid.
It's crazy. I'm like, dude, why weren't you suppressing the target instead of taking pictures of me on fire? He's like, oh man, it was a Kodak moment, you know.
I knew you'd want to see it.
God bless the Rangers, man.
That's awesome.
He was an upgunner, you know. And we all carried him. Those little plastic, you know, we weren't supposed to have them, but
yeah, like those little wedding cameras they have.
Yeah, he snapped a picture, and then went to suppressing the target, and yeah, I came to and I heard that pop, and I was like, oh shit, man, that's ammo cooking off. I was like, we're on fire. So I kind of got my
and
head.
And your co-pilot's awake and.
Yeah, so then I'm like, oh shit, man, how's my co? I just reached over and he was looking straight ahead and I could see his eyes open. And I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, hey, bro, you okay? You okay? And he just kind of did that. We were both fucked up.
Oh, you're right? Like, what in the hell just happened?
We were. And I said, hey, get your rifle. We carry our M4s right up front with us. We got little mounts and they're very accessible to us and we can get them very quick. And I never will forget this. Fred Horsley, I'd bring him down because he was shot down in Panama, and especially when we had, you know, something going on or pre-deployment or a couple new guys or whatever, I have him come tell his story because it was important. One, and two, the big takeaway is that, you know, we'd hang our rucksack. We'd carry like 3-day rucks behind our heads in the cargo area. And we'd have ammo in there, water, night vision, grenades.
Food.
And Fred would always tell us, he's like, listen to me, fellas. You're only going to take with you what is right in front of you or on your body. You ain't going to get in the back and get your ruck out. You aren't going to go here and get this. It's whatever you can reach in those few seconds that you have before you egress that helicopter. And man, was he right. Because my rifle was right there. And we safety everything in. We had slings and we run VTAC slings on our rifles and we just take a snap link, snap it so that, you know, it's there.
Yeah.
And on my rifle in the crash sequence, my sight had been broken off of the rifle and I had my irons on it, my backup iron sight. So I was good. I was okay there. But so I told us, get your rifle and meet. I pointed because we always use clock positions, 12 o'clock to the front, and then 3 o'clock, then 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. When a gunbird or an armed aircraft, you always meet at the 3 or the 9 because you don't want to get in front of potential accidental discharge or a rocket going off, or you don't want to get in front of weapon systems.
Right.
It's bad. So I pointed and I says, meet me over here. Because he could either crawl through. Well, he couldn't have crawled through. We had to crawl out the front. So he kind of did this again, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Look at me." So he turned his head probably about 20 degrees, probably. Well, he had blood all over his face, and I was like, "Fuck." And I was like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of did this again.
He's out of it.
And you don't want to say anything to somebody that's had trauma because it'll send them to another level of shock. And we were both in shock. I mean, there's no
doubt. Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, okay, did he get shot? Did he get hit? And the little bird is famous for the shoulder harnesses not locking in a crash sequence.
Oh, shit. So
what happens, the pilot hits the cyclic with his mouth. And I actually know 2 guys, that's happened to. They don't have any teeth because they hit the cyclic when they rolled just like we did.
Right.
So then I was like, well, maybe his shoulder harness didn't lock, and he hit. Anyway, I said, get your ass out now. So I grabbed my rifle. I crawled out the front because now I'm thinking my priority is safety of the crew. Okay. The aircraft's gone. I mean, I can hear the fire roaring and ammo's cooking off, and I thought about, I had 17-pound rockets on board. I was like, man, I don't know what these things are going to do if they catch on fire.
Yeah.
Because they in the warheads, the 17-pounders had 3.2 pounds of octal high explosive. But they never did anything.
They didn't go off?
They burned up. Yeah, they didn't go off. They didn't detonate. It was kind of interesting. But
Is
anyway,
that by design?
Maybe. I know what they do when I shoot them at a target. They go boom.
Yeah.
Boom. And so the safety of the helicopter. So I crawled out. I got my rifle. I sat down. I checked my rifle. I cleared it. I pulled my pistol. We wore pistols on our chest in a holster.
Yeah.
Because we're always sitting. We're riding in a vehicle. You can't get to your damn pistol if you're sitting like that. So I'd actually done that in Afghanistan in 2001. I moved my holster to my chest.
Rig, yeah.
I rigged up a deal for my Blade Tech holster, and I wore my 1911 right there. Plus, a guy sitting next to you can reach over and get it if need be.
Sure.
So it's accessible. It just made sense to me. There I go again, common sense. Anyway, so I get my pistol, check it, everything's operational. So and it again took a couple seconds, and because that's priority, make sure my weapons are functionable. And then all I could think about was Black Hawk Down. I said, here's a little black helicopter, just crashed. It's on fire. We're surrounded by bad guys. It's fixing to get real shitty really fast.
Yeah.
So And
you surveyed when you were coming down, and there wasn't like anywhere really to go to, right?
We're about 300 meters from that ville where I landed.
Yeah.
Physically, where the aircraft physically was sitting. And so I stood up, and the other AH now was they had done a couple gun runs, and then came back to check on us, and he had actually told me, he said, man, we made a pass, we didn't see it. We made a pass, had to go neutralize a target, came back and saw you crawling out. And they told me, he said, if we hadn't have seen you, we were landing to come get you out. Because they said, Greg, that your helicopter was completely engulfed in fire. I was like, yeah, fire bad. With jet fuel and ammo and aluminum and all those cool things that helicopters are made out of. They burn very, very hot. They burn very fast. So, and then, of course, they were watching me, and I stood up, and I couldn't feel my right leg, and I took a step, and I fell down. So I sat there for a second, and I stood up, and I took a step, and I fell down. And I did this 3 times.
Oh, shit.
They're up there laughing their asses off. They're like, it wasn't funny for the first second, but then it was like, oh, man, he looks like a circus clown or something. He's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. What?
Because you got a broke leg?
No, I had a spinal stinger, from the impact in my L spine. It had smashed on that
got
nerve.
That nerve. Yeah, pinched nerve.
Yeah, my leg went to sleep. But then on that third one, I think, I sat down to evaluate, my legs. I'm like, well, is it broken? So I lifted my pant legs on both legs, felt them, I was like, nope, they're okay. So I was just, adrenaline's such an awesome drug, man. It's the best drug on the planet. I don't care what you say. And so I got back up, and then I could take steps, And I looked, I was like, holy smokes. And then I was thinking about my bag. I was like, dang, man, my night vision's in there. I got water in there. I got frags in there.
You weren't going back for that, were you?
So I said, okay, I'll come back to that. But I wanted to make sure 360 degrees security of the helicopter at that time in space. Again, all I could think about was that day of Moog. And now the ground force were engaged in a gunfight. And they actually, 2 of the guys had seen the shot. Saw the building, saw the missile come off.
The one that
hit you. It was a 2-story building. Yeah, they saw the launch. They saw the launch.
So they engaged that building?
They told me that it is definitely an SA-16, and there weren't supposed to be any SA-16s in that country. It's a highly advanced Russian weapon system. And
wonder how they got that.
Theory about that.
SA-16. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, SA-16. And so I walked around the aircraft, all clear, and I'm like, okay, where's my co-pilot? Well, he was still in the helicopter. I mean, now this thing, the fire is in the cargo area where all the ammo is that was cooking off when I first came to. So I got down on the ground, I crawled in there, and I grabbed him. I said, hey, you got to get out, man, right now, okay? He kind of nodded his head, and I said, get out right now. Okay. So I crawled back out, kind of went to yeah, there you go. Yep. There she is.
That's nasty.
Yeah, they're very, very nasty. They're helicopter killers. Talk to the Russians. The Ukrainians are shooting down theirs every day.
Yeah. So
or talk to the Ukrainians.
So you're checking with your co-pilot.
Yep. So I get back up. I take a knee facing towards the Ville and the ground force where I knew, because we're in a bit of a defilade, low spot there. And the other AH flew over, and I waved to them, like this. And
one gun salute.
And they returned in kind. And then they left. Well, what happened? He was out of gas and had to leave. They had to break station. So they broke station. And so I was like, gosh, dog, man, where is he? I turned and looked, because I'm set up in my little fight position to the 3 o'clock of the helicopter. There was a bit of a defilade right there, and it was just perfect. So I kind of half crawl, walked back over there, and I slung my rifle. I said, I can't take it anymore, because when I looked, the fire was rolling around his arm now.
Oh, wow.
So it had reached the cockpit. And I did think about getting my bag the first trip around, but it was fully engulfed in flame. I was like, I'm not reaching my arm in there.
Yeah.
I don't care. So I crawled back in the cockpit. I pulled his latch, on his belts, on his harness. I just pulled his latch, and, he was upside down. He was like, doink, and he kind of hit and kind of rolled up. And I said, and I just grabbed him, and I just pulled him on top of me. And I got heels in the ground, and I pushed, and I just grabbed him, and I pulled him over on top of him again until we were clear of that cockpit. And
he was just out of it then, huh? He was just not cold.
Yeah. And well, like I said, he's great dude, man. I'd go to war with him anytime, anywhere. But yeah, we were both kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So I kind of rolled over, and I looked at him really close, looked at his face, and I was like, man, what in the world? And I said, can you get up? And he's like, and he said, yeah. So we kind of crawled out some more, and then he got up on a knee and had his rifle. And then I said, hey, let's just sit down. We were clear now. We were about, I don't know, probably 40 yards, 40 meters from the helicopter, and it was fully engulfed now, man. It was burning. And I said, hey, let me check you, So I just kind of real quick, legs, arms, and he could move his hands, and took his helmet off, and very, very carefully, but he was moving his head, and I checked his pupils for eyes and seeing about concussion and, all those things we're trained to do. But yeah, and he popped his helmet off, and I'm looking at his face. And I said, dude, let me see your grinners, like that. His teeth.
Real, yeah.
He shows me his teeth. I was like, okay, he's got all his teeth. And I said, stick your tongue out. and he had bitten through half of his tongue.
Oh.
That's where all the blood came from.
Ouch.
I was like, oh, dude. I said, oh, don't be eating pickles tonight. Ciao.
No salt for you.
But I said, hey, man, I think you bit your tongue. He's like, yeah, I think so. God, man. Well, we kind of chuckle, those moments, you just like.
You're like, if that's the worst that happened, then.
Yeah. Whew. We didn't survive this. And so we we're in our little fighting position, and we were in as much low ground as could possibly find at that time in that space. And I heard a truck coming, and I told him I was up on a knee, and he was facing north, I was facing east. And I said, hey, if you see something or hear something, just reach over and give me a squeeze, or say, hey, contact something. Let's put both eyes on it. Let's put both guns on it. Let's talk about it before we start pressing the trigger, because we're kind of fucked up right now.
Right.
And I'm hurting and you're hurting. So let's just make double sure.
Not overreact. Yeah.
Yep. And so
and how long was this after y'all exfilled from the copter?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Yes, sir.
How long was that when you made contact?
I have no idea. If it was minutes or 30 minutes or I don't. I have no sense of time.
Sure.
From the time that
makes
missile
sense.
hit.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I got a vehicle. So he kind of scooted over, and we had both guns at low ready. And then I saw a head kind of bobbing. He was running. I could tell. And then I saw a ball cap. And I see a beard. And I see Kit. And I was like, hey, I know that guy. All right, man. That's Chaz.
Friendlies.
And so he stops probably 30 meters from us, and he just stops and looks at us. And then he takes off running again, and we stand up. And of course, he grabs us. He hugs us. He's like, damn, Gravy, we thought you guys were dead, dude. And I was like, we ain't dead. He goes, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go find that motherfucker and kill him. He goes, get in the truck.
We know where he's at.
That's where you're going to say. So, yeah, we loaded up in the trucks, and then we assaulted. I told the troop commander and the sergeant major, I said, I want to clear that building, and I want to look for evidence.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to see if there's any dunnage or a case or something, that would help us confirm or deny. And like I said earlier, so each one of those missile systems, they leave a significant smoke trail, and it's a corkscrew.
Right.
Some of the smoke is white, some of it's gray, some of it's dark gray. Some of the corkscrews are big, and we're trained to identify those so we can help identify the system. And one of the guys said it was definitely a 16, dude. I was like, gosh, dog. Well, later we found out that all 8 of those helicopters were all shot down with SA-16s, every one of them.
Mm.
And that was it. That was the end of it. There were no more engagements, no more shot down. So,
did you ever find that one?
Pardon?
Did you ever find that one?
The missile?
Well, you said you found the building, so you went in the building. Did you find any evidence that?
No, no, we didn't. It was evacuated, but we got online, we assaulted, started to engage enemy, and then in my truck, we get stuck in the mud during the assault.
Oh.
I'm like, no way. I mean, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And Rangers, he's on the 240, he's got dual 240Gs. Well, he's getting some. I mean, dudes are running, and he's engaging targets of opportunity. And we're like, whoa, whoa. I was like, shit, you got to be kidding me. I was like, come on, God, give us some break here, man. And no breaks for Gravy.
No.
So we get out in accordance with SOP. I go to my corner. And, of course, Doc, our medic, man, he's working on us. He's shoving needles in us and pills and checking, I mean, man, he is on us. And I kept telling him, I was like, hey, you check him. Check him. And a co-pilot. And I'm on my corner, and this dude runs out on the roof. He's in a black man dress, which, to me, that's a bad guy.
Right.
He's on his cell phone. I was like, that motherfucker's calling his buddies,
Yeah.
And I tell Sergeant Major, I'm in his truck. And I said, hey, Sergeant Major, I got contact. He's like, well, shoot that fucker. And I said, roger that. But he'd run out on the roof, and then he'd run back in. They have door access up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude came back out, man. I put controlled pair 75 grain Hornets right in the center mass of his chest and dropped him.
There you go, calling our position, motherfucker.
Yeah. And then Jeremy, he was the Ranger. He got contact on his left, so he opens up on these other dudes. And then I look again, and here comes two guys running out of a building, one carrying an RPG, the other guy's carrying his AK, so I engage both of them. And then Jeremy jumps in on the party. He shoots him up. I mean, I was like, man, this is crazy, man. This is fun. Yeah. And so then it kind of goes down, and we get to the building. Well, we get one of the Panders, under fire, takes off, comes back around. Guy jumps out under fire with a snatch strap, and hooks us to our back bumper, pulls us out of the mud. So we get unstuck, then we kind of maneuver around this big giant mud hole, and then get to that building. We clear the building. There's nothing. And Sergeant Major grabs me. He goes, hey, we're gonna go have a chat with some of these dudes. And so, yeah, we grabbed some of the Mooj there, and they don't know anything.
Oh, you get no intel from them.
Yeah, we did a little combat chat.
Chat. There you go.
Yeah, so nothing.
Dude, that's a hell of a freaking story right there.
Oh, it was crazy. It was another day at the office, man. It was crazy, though. Yeah, so we get back in the truck, and I tell the troop commander, I say, hey, can we go back to the crash site to make sure all our sensitive items are either destroyed or they've been, and they had called some guys from the 82nd, and they had gotten there, they secured the crash site, yeah, so it was, then we just kind of evaluated everything, and I actually sketched a picture, and then a couple of guys, they took pictures, they had official cameras and had taken some pictures of everything, just, for historical data, and then the investigation and all that. And I was like, there's nothing to investigate, you dumbasses. Shit, look.
You got shot down.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. And, it was...
Like, my buddy's got a great Polaroid of it. Just check his Polaroid.
Yes, yeah.
Now, do you have access to those photos?
Yeah, I got them all.
The ones that they took for the investigation and everything, too?
Yes, sir.
You still got your sketch?
Somewhere. I haven't seen
You should find that.
You
should find your sketch.
I think they took it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they took it.
They confiscated it?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, I got pictures right here on my computer of the crash site. And
man, that's a wild story right there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Well, let's do this because we're kind of long. No, go ahead.
Let me back up. So
yeah,
we link up. Chaz gets us to the main force. We link up, and the troop commander turns around because they're calling like, "Hey, aircraft varmint's been shot down." That was our call sign. Hey, we need to spin up combat CSAR, combat search and rescue. Well, United States Air Force Special Operations CSAR, okay, theater dedicated. That's their only job in the country of Iraq is to go pick up downed pilots. Right? They refused to come get us. They said it was too risky.
What?
Well, the troop commander said, Greg, you need to listen to this. I was like, Holy crapoly, man. Now, I know those crews would have launched in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But it was,
It's like,
whoever was
screw
making
you, dude.
decisions said, no, we're not going to do that today. I said, wait a minute. Your motto is so others may live. Well, that's fucking bullshit. I'm still pissed off today about that call.
Well, I mean,
they could have put us in a really bad situation, man.
I bet you know who that guy is too, who made that decision, command decision, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And I saw the crew, and I said, you know what? I would have come got you, man. I don't care what time of day it was. I would have come. I don't care if they said, no, if you go, you're going to get court-martialed. Okay, well, court-martial. I'm going to go get my brothers. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. And that's just the way I'm wired.
That had been hard to stomach.
And it was funny when we get back. But they had, so word got back to Baghdad. They had every Black Hawk. They had every Little Bird. They had every Delta operator, the cooks, the guys cleaning the shitters. They said it looked like the clampets, man, hanging on these. They were coming.
They're like, screw it, we're coming.
And I got on the radio and I called to talk. I said, listen, do not come in here. Okay, we're secure. We're with the fellas.
Yeah.
And Doc's taking care of us, okay? The Air Force isn't going to come get us. and I said, just go to our lager area. It's a safe area east of Fallujah. I said, and just hang, okay? If one of us get critical, then we will move to a safe place. We'll put close air support, F-16s or something overhead, to protect, and then you can come get us. But right now, we're cool, okay? We're good. Doc's taking care of us. Yeah, the
clampets were getting ready to come on out, weren't they?
Oh, dude, they said it was fucking crazy.
Release the hounds.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so then we had to fight our way. The gunfight lasted 6 hours.
6 hours?
6 hours. And then we had to fight our way. We had to go to Fallujah. We had to fight our way through Fallujah, then on the road between Fallujah and Ramadi, and had to fight our way through Ramadi.
Hold on. I'm going to bring this map back up.
Yeah.
So people can get an idea of the ground that you guys are covering here.
Hey, Leadheads, Dwight Settle with SEAL 1. Just here to talk to you and tell you a little bit about our product. SEAL 1 CLP Plus is a bio-based, non-toxic product. It comes in a paste, liquid, aerosol, and pre-saturated bore-specific patches called sealskins. They all do the same thing, just different methods of application. The best way to use our product is to start with a clean firearm. There's 2 reasons why I say that. First, you start with the SEAL 1 CLP Plus by field stripping your firearm and covering the entire firearm inside and out, bore, barrel, everything with the SEAL 1 CLP Plus. You'll see how easy it spreads around. You'll want to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you come back and you want to wipe it all off. So you see how easy it is to put on and remove. And the second reason we say to use a clean firearm is you'll find that it's not clean. We're going to pull out more carbon that's been left behind with whatever product you've been using before. Okay, it takes about 3 cleanings, so I like to say a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot, just normal usage before the SEAL 1 CLP Plus has removed whatever product that you were using before and has seasoned the firearm. It's kind of like breaking in a cast iron skillet. And after that first cleaning, you will notice a difference. And with each successive cleaning, you will find that it gets easier and easier to clean. SEAL 1 CLP Plus is a dry lubricant and is designed to work as such. You will find that malfunctions are virtually eliminated when used properly because the majority of all malfunctions are caused to carbon buildup. And with the SEAL 1 CLP Plus, the carbon does not build up. SEAL 1 CLP Plus is safe on all metals, plastics, composites, polymers, rubber, wood, and leather. SEAL 1 CLP Plus is a one-and-done formulation. No other products are required or needed to clean and lubricate and protect your firearm. That's why we say SEAL 1 and done. SEAL One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
So somewhere down in here is where you rolled,
Yep.
and then you guys made your way back to Fallujah.
Yes, sir. Yep. Back up to Fallujah. Through Fallujah, the most dangerous city on the planet at that time. Yeah, we hit Highway 1 right there, just up to the north.
This one?
Yep, right there. And then we went west to Ramadi.
Did you cross over that bridge?
Did
Did you cross over that bridge?
Yep. We were taking fire the whole time. Of course, it was daytime.
And how far is Ramadi from Fallujah?
Oh,
It's good ways.
goodness. Pretty good hump.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't have a scale on here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember, quite frankly.
I could punch it in Google Maps here and figure it out. But so you had to fight northeast up back to Fallujah, and then from Fallujah back to Ramadi.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And you did this in how many hours did this take?
Let's see. We launched at about 12:50 that afternoon, and we rolled into the MSS, which was in Ramadi up by the river, kind of north of that Highway 1. And we rolled in there at like 10 after 10, 22:10, 10:10 p.m.
Wow.
So, yeah. Plus, we'd been up all night, and we've been up a couple of days fighting and planning.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we do, man.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was crazy because we pulled in the gate, they opened the gate, and I can remember pulling through the gate, dudes were running around everywhere, and I looked up, and they had their, Delta had their two doctors. They were standing right there, and of course we had a medic with us, Doc was with us, and then one or two medics, and it was just like, oh, man. And the truck was still kind of rolling real slow. I got sick, and I was like, I got to get out of here, man. I'm going to throw up.
From a concussion?
Yep. And I opened the door, and I just rolled out of the truck, and I just started projectile vomiting. And I was like, get away, Doc. Woo! And, man, they jumped on me. They jumped on my co-pilot, started working on us. And then it wasn't a minute. I heard a Black Hawk. Well, it was a 160th Black Hawk landing to come pick us up.
Nice.
Yep. That was about, I don't know, almost 10:30 p.m. Yeah, and they flew us to the cache, so the combat hospital there in Baghdad. And
I bet it seemed like days, though, to you probably, huh?
A lifetime.
Like a lifetime, man.
A lifetime, yeah. I did think, right, my first thought after I crawled out of the helicopter were of my two girls. Yeah. And I said a quick prayer. I said, and I always said this on every mission. I said, God, just give me speed and accuracy. And then I added, just watch over my girls if I don't make it. Yeah. That's it, man.
That's all you.
Time
that's
to
all
go to work.
Prayer needs to be, short and sweet.
It is.
To the point.
He doesn't expect any more because he's like, okay.
He knows what your shorthand means.
Yes. Hey, he does.
Dude, that's an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that. Now, is that in the book?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's even greater detail. I know I've left out things, but I've had.
Well, we got to leave some for them to read. They got to, they got to want to go get the book. So
it's available on Audible or Kindle right now. But anyway, I've had 40. I get these numbers mixed up. I think I have 42 pieces of titanium in me, and I've had 40 7 surgeries.
Jeez.
To put me back together. Yeah, C-spine, L-spine, both shoulders were blown out, both knees were blown out. My left ankle, head injury.
And this is all from that one hard landing?
Yeah.
We're not calling it a crash. It was a hard landing.
It was soft. It was those rolls.
It was soft until it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
man.
it's been a long... I'm old, but I'm not obsolete, by golly.
Now, was that the end of your flight career after that?
No. I did 5 more tours, brother.
Whoa.
Yep. They fixed my L spine first and a shoulder. I dislocated both shoulders. And, they just anchored them. They put like 8 or 10 anchors in both in this one first and then orthoscope. And then, I was grounded. I was grounded until February the next year. But I went and did a tour with B Squadron in October of 2004. Yeah, they started my surgical. Our doctor set me down and said, here's your schedule. This is what we're going to do. Do you want to stay in? Do you want to be medically retired? I was like, fuck no, I want to go kill fucking terrorists. That's what I want to do. And they're like, roger that. And at that level, our doctors, they're going to ask us, hey, are you good? Yep, roger that, doc. Or, no, I'm not good. And they'll say, okay, just let us know when you're good. So as a professional soldier and at that level, it's the trust that they have that, we're going to tell them. Of course, sometimes they have to remind us. They'd be like, Greg, you ain't good to go yet, bro. I was like, oh, man, okay. But, I went. I was the fire supporter and then the air guy for B Squadron on that. That was their next tour in October to January of 2005. And then I stayed with the 22nd SAS. So that's the British. That's their Delta.
British guys.
Delta guys. Oh my gosh, man! I had the best time with those blokes. Oh my god,
the blokes.
They're a hoot. I call them wankers. What are you wankers doing? They're like, how do you know that? I said, I know some stuff, man.
I watch Austin Powers.
Yeah, so I stayed and helped them with their air and fire support because they didn't have any of that stuff then, none. And we, the AHs, if we could, we'd support them on, targets and stuff like that. But they don't have any attack helicopters or special operations aviation like, the U.S. Army does. But I got to meet Tony Blair, Christmas, the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
How was he?
He was cool.
Tony Blair was cool?
Yes, I really liked that fella. And, it was a good tour of those guys. And I was honored that, their commander had asked me if I'd stay and help. And I said, absolutely. So I stayed another couple months, I think, almost 3 months. Yeah.
Very cool.
And came home, had a couple more surgeries, and I got back up flying, and back to Iraq I went 4 more times.
4 more times.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That was my job.
When was your final flight?
Oh, that'd been November of 2007.
Did you know that was going to be your final one?
No, I still fly, man.
Well,
it was
I meant
my last
in service. In service, I meant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I assume you still fly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Let's do this.
Sure.
I wanted to talk more knives and blades, but we're running long, so let's go to our listener questions.
Okay.
And then I want to hit you with the new guy questions. Well,
so I'm learning how to make slip joint pocket knives.
Slip joint.
I got up at 5 o'clock this morning so I could have these ready to show you all.
Let's look at these.
This is a new design, a new pocket knife that I'm making.
Okay.
It's called slip joints. This particular one is some cat's claw Damascus that I made. This is, you can see it. It's just, I just got it.
Yeah, you got a prototype. That's your prototype.
Prototype. Yeah, really cool. This is G10, so they're very lightweight. This is the very first one I finished. This one is feather Damascus.
Hold it that way, just a little. Yeah.
That.
Feather Damascus. Now, what's feather Damascus?
It looks like a feather. The steel.
Okay.
It looks like a feather, but yeah, this one's all done. I'm really proud of it.
And these are called slip joint.
Slip joint pocket knife.
Now, what's a slip joint?
So there's only two pieces to this knife. It's this piece right here and the blade. That's it. And then the G10 handles.
Hold it up.
Yeah.
Hold it up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're below the camera there. No, you can come closer. It's just. So how does it operate when you call it a slip joint?
Well, it's this joint, this pivot joint right here. So there's three positions. So that's half, and that's closed.
Okay.
You open it up.
And it locks in place like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So those are coming.
Very cool.
That's about all the knives I got, man.
You got more than that, I'm sure. We'll talk about them as we go through the questions, because I know some of our questions deal with the knife. Yes. I see you went through and answered them already too.
Some of them like, I forgot. And I was like, oh, well, let me try to answer some of these guys' questions.
They're supposed to listen to the show to get the answers.
I know.
That's
Sorry
okay. That. No, that's fine. I'm just kidding. I actually like it when our guests engage the listeners like that. So
I always do, man. I've done probably 30 podcasts, and it might take me 3 or 4 months, but I answer every one of them. I think it's important.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I mean, they're not doing it just to.
No, they're interested.
Now, let me ask you this, because what we do is we reward our listeners here. We call them leadheads, and by participating.
Yep.
So would you like to give away a copy of your book to one of our lucky participants today?
If it's an Audible, that's all I got.
I think that'd be awesome. I'd
prefer.
I
got some free Audibles, man. I can send them. All I need is their email. Plus, I got swag. I got Shield Knife patches, Blades for Brother stickers. Here's my new sticker. We kill suckers.
We kill suckers. I like that.
And the T-shirt's coming in 3 weeks.
Oh, you got to do a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yep. Just check the website. I got caps.
Look at that. So you want to give away? You want to give away like a cap?
Sure, man.
All right, we'll give away. We'll do like a swag package to one lucky listener. They get the book.
Death Waits in the Dark hat.
I like it.
My wife owns an embroidery company. I can do this.
There you go. I like that. I like the one with the Crusader Cross on it.
Yeah, that's my logo.
I've got
Crusader
4. I don't have my Glock here, but I've got one. I've got it engraved on my Glock.
Ah, cool.
All right, Mustang Perry, what is your favorite blade shape for fighting versus your favorite to make?
Yeah, the drop point. I just like that blade style, and I mean it was a really the drop point is probably the most made blade in history. I mean it's a fighting knife. It's a utility knife. I mean you see a lot of camp knives, and most all your fighters are unless you get into the Persian. I actually have a couple of new knives I use. Here's one. So this is a Persian. They call it a Persian kind of style blade, but it's a drop point.
Move it that way just a little bit. No,
like
to your right. Move it to your right, because the way this records, it kind of cuts off your left side of your screen.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's
See
a
that?
drop point. That's a good example of a drop point right there.
That's a Persian. So it's, the handle curves somewhat, but it's the Middle Easterns. It's they developed this, but it feels really good in the hand, and it's just a little everyday carry knife.
Yeah.
And then a true drop point would be this. So this is my fighter.
There you go.
That's a drop point.
Is that
And
the
this
Bob?
Yep, that's the Bob for Bob Horgan. And this is saber cut, so it's also ground on top. It's not a sharp edge; it's just a false edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fighter. So this is the original mini Bob. That's a drop point. Yeah.
Dig it.
Good question, though. Yeah.
All right. So that was Mustang. And you answered him here, and he says, thanks. I'm looking forward to the episode. That's you. Gerard Link. What is your favorite aircraft to fly and why?
Oh, yeah. The AH-6, man. That's the Ferrari of all helicopters. The MD-530 series. I flew Cobras right out of flight school for a tour in South Korea, and then I flew Apaches for about 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
At the 101st.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I went over to the dark side, as they call it.
Those are much bigger planes, aren't they, than...
Yeah, they're big helicopters.
Big hunks of metal.
Yeah, I love the Little Bird. The helicopter saved my life one day. It saved hundreds of lives over the history of that helicopter.
Thousands.
Mr. Hughes developed that thing for survivability, and it was developed in 1954.
Is that Howard Hughes?
Howard Hughes, yes. Aeronautical engineer.
Oh, extraordinaire.
Millionaire, businessman.
That's who Tony Stark was modeled after.
Yes.
Was
yeah,
Howard
he
Hughes.
was.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Tongue for Twisted now, and he's got a couple of questions. And Tongue for Twisted asks, what was your choice of carry while in flight, and what is your EDC nowadays?
Yeah, and again, I didn't know if he meant helicopter configuration or my personal. So my personal is M4.
Yeah, so I think what he's asking is your choice of carry while in flight. So you talked about you had an M4 and you had a 1911.
Probably no less than 5 or 6 knives on my body at any one time. Yeah, you couldn't carry enough knives, man.
So what kind of 1911 were you carrying?
It was my Springfield that had been built by some friends of mine.
So you had a custom 1911 that you were carrying?
Yes.
Gotcha. And anything special on the M4 that you had on your M4?
Standard issue.
Just standard issue?
Yes, sir.
What were your optics that you had on it?
At that time, I had an M68 aim point. Hold on just a sec.
The multi-mount is a simple yet flexible platform that allows you to conveniently mount your everyday items wherever you may need them. A rugged 1.5-inch belt locks into the mount, allowing the attachment of any item that uses a clip or belt loop. With a quick release tab, you can easily swap out essential gear as needed. Ideal for mounting comms, tourniquets, lights, firearms, and more. The options are almost limitless. The platform comes with 2 backer options, either 3M adhesive or Coke backing, giving you adaptability and endless options on where you can mount your needed items. Access your essential equipment in your preferred configuration. Carry what you need, where you need, with our multi-mount platform, available now.
For your exclusive Talking Lead listener discount, use the code LEADHEAD for 20% off at checkout.
Just happen to have one handy?
It was this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I got a bunch of stuff recovered from the burn site.
It looks a little melty.
Yeah, and the doggone thing still works.
It still works. Holy shit.
It burnt up. I am not shitting you. Aim Point, man, M68.
Dude, you should get in touch with Aim Point. They would love to hear that story.
I took it to SHOT Show with me like 05, 06, 07. And it was like the president or the vice president was there from, I guess they're from, where are they from? Sweden, Norway?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he came out and he's like, what would it take for me to have that sight? And I said, there's nothing. He said, you can't have it, but I would love for you to borrow it. And
perfect.
He said, absolutely. He took it from me, and they took it in the back, and one of the guys said they took over 300 pictures of it.
Oh, wow.
And then I'd bring it every year to SHOT Show with me, and they'd put it in their display case. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what about nowadays? What do you what you carry? What's your EDC?
1911. And then knife-wise, I'll carry my mini bob, which is an EDC that I wear parallel on my belt. So it's this little blade right here.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
And then I carry a Steve Woods. He's a friend of mine. This folder makes really cool folders.
Yeah.
I carry my Chris Williams Wilmot folder. This happened to be in my pocket today.
Yeah. It's whatever you grab off the table and take with you that day.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's either of those two. Yeah. Like Steve's new. I really like this one's cool. He made this one for me. It's got a knight on that side and then American flag that side.
Very cool.
Yeah. Steve Woods. Professional
Woods.
photographer.
All right, next question. Corey Brown. Thank you for your service. Did you ever have to use a grease pencil for aiming purposes? LOL.
Saw this. I was like, how does he know about that? Hold on just a second.
All right.
You mean this government issue grease pencil?
You mean that one right there? It didn't get melted?
No, because we wear it. Every
Had it on
gun
you.
pilot wears it on their kit right here. Okay. So it's called a pipper. What we do, we take this grease pencil and we put a dot, a circle, on the windscreen, and that's what we use to aim with to shoot. I'm not lying. Grease pencil mark, man. And we tested every electronic you can think of over the years, my tenure there. And
Nothing
Fred
works
Horsley
better.
summed it up at a meeting with some engineers one day. He said, there's no faster computer on earth than the human brain. And we will continue to use the grease pencil. That's true. That's a fact. And I've tested a bunch of stuff, man. EOTechs and, out at Dillon Aero, went out there for like a year after I retired and worked with them, developing new equipment and minigun stuff and all kind of stuff. Yeah.
He's also curious about how many flight hours you've logged with the nods. You said
Over
like
6,000.
Yeah, you said like 7,000 or something.
7,000. Yeah, it's over 7,000. I have 8,000 total. Yeah.
Like 8,000 total flight time?
Yes, sir.
And then and 8 of those, or 7 of those is with nods.
Night vision.
Holy
yes, sir.
shit.
Yeah, it was funny. I did my ATP, my airline transport pilot certificate, and after I retired, and I got my CFII, my certified flight instructor, through the FAA. I was like, I might want a job doing it or need a job doing it, so I'll go ahead and get my tickets. But I was doing my ATP check ride, and that's the highest certificate you can get as a civilian pilot, is your ATP. And my FAA instructor check pilot came and introduced, talking to him. And of course, first thing you do is hand him your logbook.
Yeah.
And I start taking my oral exam, a written exam. And so I'm answering questions. He's over there with his phone. He gets his phone out, and I can see he's calculating. And he looks up at me. He goes, my God, Greg, he said, I forget, it was like 88.65% of my flight time was night vision goggles. He put his phone down. He goes, give me that test. He said, let's go fly. He said, I didn't know you were a Night Stalker. I said, well, now you know.
Just going through the channels. How's your vision?
Good. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, all that time under nods.
Huh?
My
hearing's not too good.
My vision's perfect.
Yeah, my ophthalmologist, I didn't have to get glasses till I'm 63 years young now, but I was probably 52 or 53 when I had to start. And these are only like 1.5 readers. And
yeah, that's all.
He was really surprised that I said, well, it's probably from, flying night vision goggles, and because you exercise that eye, and you get into the physiology of the eye and all that stuff. So
yeah.
And he was like, I would have thought that would have degraded your vision.
That's what I was thinking, but no, obviously not. Strengthened it probably.
Yeah. Except for the poor Apache guys, they have to wear that HDU, over one eye.
With just the one eye?
Yeah, just the one eye. We always use teasing their eyeballs. They go like this.
Calamari eyes.
You're like, oh, he's an Apache guy. Look at his eyeball. One's point this way and one's.
What was that comedian Marty? You remember that back in the day? There was that comedian. Not Short, but it was.
That's Martin Short.
I can't remember his name, but he was like in those. I'm forgetting everybody's name now.
Yeah, welcome.
Gene. He was with Gene Wilder. He was in the movie with Gene Wilder, like that Bride of Frankenstein thing that he did. He was like the Igor. Yeah, his eyes were always
crazy eyes.
Yeah, that guy. Is Marty something?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, I said we chase squirrels here. Tongue for twisting, asked again, were you ever shot at? I think we gave a good prime example of that.
A couple times.
How many tours did you do?
11.
11 tours. Yeah, he was probably shot at 1 or 2 times.
There's my lovely wife, if you'd like to see
her. Well, hey, lovely wife.
Hi.
You got the wind-blown hair today from skydiving?
I do. I always have wind-blown hair.
That's the best kind.
That's part of living with Greg.
That's how he likes his women, he said. Fast cars, fast women.
He's got them.
Yep.
She was the fastest woman when she was falling out of that airplane, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. 132 feet per second squared.
That's fast. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Lefty.
Marty.
Marty.
Yeah, I'm Marty.
Nice to meet you. Y'all are sounding like you're having fun back here.
We are. We're having a great time. Am I keeping him from something? Does he need to get off?
No, sir. You can keep him as long as you want. Just bring him back.
Okay. I saw some of your beautiful embroidery work you do on those hats back there.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
We might have to talk. I have to get you to start doing my stuff.
We can talk. I love you. I'll be
I love you. Okay, baby.
You're ready to get off now, aren't you? She's like, come on.
Nah, she's going to her shop. Her shop's here at the house. So.
All right, next question. Shep guns. When you were flying, did you carry or have small arms close at hand? We talked about that a little bit. Nowadays, what's your EDC pocket dump? So we talked about that too.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever carry anything else small arms wise with you?
No.
What about when you were on the Cobras and the Apaches? What kind of small arms were you guys carrying there?
Pistol. Yeah, that's all you could get in the cockpit.
Just get a pistol. They didn't have like any SBRs or anything like that put under the seats?
No, in the 160th, they used to carry MP5s. And after Mogadishu, they're like, no, we need to go back to a rifle because that, a great weapon, German design for CQB, for close quarter battle.
Yeah.
And, they needed that standoff. They needed to be able to engage targets at 100, 150, 200 meters. You couldn't do it with the MP5.
Yeah.
So that's when they transitioned back to the M4. No, great rifles, man. I love that rifle. And with, we shot Hornady ammo, and it was very accurate. 75 grainers.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's good ammo.
Old Tennessean, what's your favorite metal for making your blades and why?
80 CRV2. It's a newer steel as far as high carbon steels go. It's got the chromium in it. It maintains in just all the reading and research and talking to knife makers that edge retention is much better than like 1095 or 1080, 1084 steel. And on stainless steel, I like the AEBL. It's an old stainless. It was developed in 1954, and it was used to make razor blades back in the day. But it's really good knife steel. Of course, your Rockwell hardness goes up with stainless as compared to high carbon steels.
Right.
So, and stainless does not rust. High carbon steel does.
What's your favorite blade to make, design wise? All of them.
The dagger. Most guys hate making daggers because they're just hard to make, but I truly enjoy. Yeah, I love making daggers.
Making a good dagger. What's the longest blade you've made?
Oh, chef knife. Yeah.
That chef knife?
Yep. That blade right there.
That's a nice one.
Thank you.
Are you going to do a whole cutlery set now one day?
Well, I did one for Edie. This is a stainless.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I made Edie a set of these. So, yeah. Stainless because Damascus it's cool, but
well, you want your kitchen blades to be.
Yeah, it's hard to take care of. I mean, you have to keep it oiled and.
The Damascus, yeah.
Damascus, yes, sir.
B. Hurst, what's the craziest thing you've done in flight?
Loops and rolls.
That you can talk about.
Loops and rolls in a helicopter.
Did you do it in all three of them?
No. You can't do it in a Cobra because of the rotor system.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a semi in the Bell in the old Bell products. So your 58, your Huey, your Cobra, they're semi-rigid rotor systems, and they can't take negative G's. They can do it once. It snaps the mast off.
You can do anything once, right?
Then you plummet to the earth. Yeah, you get into mast bumping, but the MD and the new Cobra, the new Huey, they've got fully articulated rotor systems. Yeah, they're fully aerobatic. Yeah, they're fun. It's a 1G maneuver.
Hey, you remember that movie, was it Blue Thunder?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Was that a Cobra?
No, that was some mock. I don't know what that was. It was some Hollywood mock-up they did. Jan Michael Vincent.
Was that Jan Michael Vincent? Roy Scheider.
Roy Scheider and Jan
Michael Vincent.
Yeah.
Jan Michael Vincent was in that Burt Reynolds movie. Was it Hooper? Was it Stuntman?
Yeah. Stuntman.
Yeah. He was Airwolf too. That's where Jan Michael Vincent was Airwolf.
Yeah, Airwolf.
Yeah. I remember Airwolf. That was a great TV show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Make sure I got them all here. That's all I'm going to do with the questions because I want to do the new guy questions with you.
Yeah.
So that was our listener question, and we'll pick a winner when we get done with the new guy questions.
Okay.
For your swag pack there.
Sure.
All right. So I've got this line of questions that I ask my new guests. It's the first time you've been on. And I think Jared went through these. So hopefully he didn't prepare you for them. Because they're supposed
No, he didn't. He wouldn't tell me.
They're supposed to be quick, off the hip kind of deal. So we know that you've got military service. Thank you for your service. We kind of talked a little bit about the beginning of that. Your father was in the military, so it's kind of in your blood to serve. You have children?
Yes, 2 girls.
2 girls, 2 daughters. Do they serve in the military?
Absolutely not.
No.
They lived their war babies and didn't want any part of it.
Gotcha. And that's fine. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
it
with
is.
that.
It is.
What? So how'd you meet your wife? Is that too personal?
Match.com.
For real?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. She was Saddle Bronc Mom, and my call sign was Loves to Fly.
Look at that.
Married almost 6 years now.
Match.com. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I guess I might need to start doing the apps again.
I absolutely recommend it.
Who knows? All right.
Yeah.
What is, would you say, the greatest, how do I word this? Because you served 22 years. You saw combat. You saw a lot of combat.
Yes.
Words of wisdom, I would guess. What is the greatest thing that you learned from all your years of service to the country?
Never, ever quit. Never quit. I don't care. And I'm fortunate enough, I get to work with kids and teenagers and young adults, men and women, and I'm very involved in my community here. We have 11 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, there's always something going on. So 4-H and
sports and all kinds of stuff. Huh?
Sports and dance, but every young person, even young guys that come here to Blades for Brothers, I tell them, I said, I don't care how bad it gets. I don't care how dark or how dark you are or how deep that dark place is. Never, ever quit. I don't care, man. You're going to have to get junkyard dog mean if you know what that
JYD. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Just don't ever quit, man. Ever. Yeah. I've been in some pretty shitty situations, and it was just through my faith and just, yeah. And our motto, Night Stalkers don't quit, NSDQ.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Just don't ever.
Would you recommend the military for because it's a different military than when you went in? Would you recommend the military as a solid path for a young individual these days?
Absolutely. You bet.
100%.
And when I enlisted, I was at a time and a place in my life. I didn't know where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go back to school, and that was a vehicle. I could get GI Bill, and yes, and the leadership that you get. There's so many positive things that you will get for life skills in the military. If you just do one hitch, you'll gain that knowledge and leadership skills that you will not ever get anywhere else, and you will make friends that you will be friends for the rest of your life. Yes. Yep. It's a great place to start. It is.
Very well said. What is your greatest pucker factor moment?
Greatest pucker? Well,
would it be the crash, or is there another pucker factor moment?
Yeah, it was the Battle of Haditha Dam.
Battle of Haditha Dam. Tell us about that.
That was the biggest battle of the Iraqi war. And it was our 2 AH-6s and 138 Rangers. and a few Delta guys. And I wrote about it. That was my first big story that I wrote for Geo that got posted.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was crazy, but it was, yeah.
How long was that battle?
It's the biggest chapter of my book.
Okay, it's in the book. Okay, cool.
The Battle of Haditha Dam. But when we were coming in, and we were actually below the dam, over the lake, and the Rangers on the west, in the west blocking position, were seconds from being overrun by a company-size element, so 100 dudes. They were Fedayeen and Republican guards, very highly trained soldiers. And we turned a corner, and I looked over at a dude I was flying with, and we said at the same time, "We're fucked." I'm not kidding. And the best way I can explain it is, imagine a Rolling Stones concert in London, England, when they come on stage and all the flashes out there, thousands.
Right.
That's what the tracers looked like.
Oh, gosh.
At the dam. And my butt puckered. I was like, we're going to die. Yeah, but it's all good. But I shot
obviously
our
you didn't.
first. Pardon?
I said obviously and thankfully you didn't.
Yeah, and our first engagement at the dam, the first night, which we were there for 7 days and nights, was 12 meters in front of those Rangers. 12 meters.
Wow.
They were about to be overrun. Yeah. Yeah. And
so you guys got to get the book. Got to
yeah,
get the book.
It's a good read, man.
Hold the book up again. You got it right there? Is it handy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Death Waits in the Dark. You guys got to get this. Get the audio, and you read it. I understand. You read the.
Yeah.
You're the narrator.
Yep, I read it. Yeah, Kyle Lamb. He was a great influencer on that decision. There's the back of the book.
Very cool.
My lovely wife, Edie. Yeah, I'm proud of it, man. It's history, and I wrote it for my kids, my grandkids, and future warriors.
So when you were over there, 11 tours, man. Jeez, I can't imagine. And I'm sure it probably changed, but what was kind of your motivational music? Or what was your motivation before you'd go into a mission? What did you do?
CCR, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I'd read some scripture.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, Ephesians 6:10-17, take up the full armor of God. Yeah, he tells us. People would ask me, well, my God, man, don't you have fear? Aren't you in fear? No. Because the good Lord told us, fear not, for I am with you. But, man, I was scared shitless every mission. Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah.
It's good to be scared.
Well, I mean, it lets you know you're alive, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's how you know you're alive.
I said, if it's my day, it's my day, man. I'm going to go. I'm with my brothers. I'm doing what I love. And I know where I'm going, man. It's all good.
So growing up, and it sounds like you moved around a little bit growing up with your dad being in the military. What is your earliest recollection of shooting a gun, shooting a firearm?
Oh, goodness. I was probably 6, 7. 22 rifle.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Your dad took you out?
No, Pop was gone. He was gone all the time, and it was probably my Uncle Jim. He pretty much raised me, especially after they divorced. And
yeah,
that's my earliest recollection.
You still have that 22?
No, I do not.
You don't?
Yeah. I did. I got the first shotgun I ever bought.
I was going to say, the next question is going to be, what was the first gun or firearm you bought yourself?
Yeah, it was 12-gauge pump. Still got it. It was 14.
14 years old. That's back in the good old days, right? Walk into Sears and Roebuck.
I was a pretty big kid, so I could handle it. I could shoot that 12 gauge.
Did you grow up hunting?
Pardon?
Did you grow up hunting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, chasing critters and hunting, fishing. I ran a trap line. Yeah, it was just a way of life.
How old were you when you joined the military?
25.
You're 25.
I was old, man.
Earlier,
basic training.
You were talking about how you did the rodeo and all that. Obviously, you did that before you got into the military?
Yeah. I continued, too, after I got in the Army. Yeah, the military did have their own cowboy association, the MRCA, Military Rodeo Cowboy Association. I rodeoed in it, and
cool.
Yeah, I went to the finals every year, and yeah, won a couple national championships.
Did you ever get injured doing that?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Mostly bulldogging.
How did you get into that?
Pardon?
How did you get into the cowboy life, the rodeoing?
I was growing up on a farm and ranching and having cattle and horses. And yeah, we rode horses when I was a little bitty. Well, my mother told me I attended my first rodeo in Santa Maria, California when I was 6 weeks old. So there you have it.
There it is.
Yeah.
You're born to it.
Yeah, cowboy way of life, it's it's like any other, but it's just great people and down to earth with core values, and that's how I was raised. And yeah, I look back and I'm thankful for that. I mean, it's hard work. My whole life was hard work. I mean, I've dug ditches and built fences and poured concrete and worked in the oil field and was in the Army. So yeah, it's hard work, man.
Hard life.
Being in a special operations unit is hard work. And it's easy to quit.
Never quit.
You got to work hard, man. Never quit.
Never quit.
Never quit.
When the shotgun was your first firearm that you purchased, 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Still own it. Awesome. And when you got in the military, was that your first experience with auto firearms?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. Pretty much. Full auto.
Full auto, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I had bought an AR when I was 18 or 19. Yeah.
What year was that?
78, 79.
78. Okay.
Yeah, pre. Yeah, it's pre.
That's pre, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a triangle handguard, a bayonet,
Do you still have that?
No, I wish I did.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I was a poor cowboy, man. I needed money for entry fees or horse feed or something. I sold it.
I had to sell it, yeah. I hear you.
I shot coyotes with it.
When it comes to pop culture, like whether it's a movie or TV show, maybe it's reading a book or a magazine or something like that, or podcast nowadays. A lot of people do that. What's your kind of just, if you've got the time and availability, you're going to sit down and either watch it or listen to it or read it?
Well, I love to read. I read all the time. My grandmother was an English. I grew up in a family of educators. My mother's a school teacher. My grandmother, my uncle, my grandfather, aunts. Yeah, I was always reading. I've read thousands of books. I read everything from Hemingway to Brad Thor, or Greg Grape Coker. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, and I've always. Yeah.
Are you more into the fiction, or are you more into educational, reality, biography type stuff? History?
Yeah, history. Yeah, anything history related from, the Persians and the 8th century to the Crusaders, the Templars, up to current, current times. Yeah, that, and man, I sure did love Ted Lasso. I don't know if you've seen that show.
I haven't seen that.
I highly recommend Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the best shows I've seen in a long, long time. Yeah.
And what is it about Ted Lasso that you like?
I loved Roy, the personality. He was a very famous football player in England. And yeah, just the whole, I mean, it'll make you laugh. It'll make you want to cry. It's just real.
Okay.
It's real.
I've heard
really
people talk
enjoyed it.
about it, but I didn't know
Yeah.
what it was. I didn't know what it was actually about. No.
Oh, movies. Gosh, man.
Top Gun, that's your favorite movie, isn't it?
New one was, the first one really inspired me for flight, and you had to go be an aviator. And,
That's exactly what got me into aviation.
a fighter pilot. I wanted to be an Army fighter pilot, man. Fly attack helicopters.
I wanted to be a naval aviator.
I thought about it, but man, monkeys can fly airplanes, dude. Take a real guy, man, to fly.
Here comes the helicopter pilot in you, yeah.
Well, gun pilots are the smartest pilots on the planet, so they test us, and they only take the ones with a high IQ.
I mean, it's just a fact, right?
It is. It
It's
is
just a fact.
Yeah, they test us.
I've been getting into the spaghetti westerns.
Clint Eastwood, man, hang 'em high, and
Terrence Hill and Bud
Yes.
Spencer. They Call Me Trinity.
they call me Trinity. I watched all of them multiple times.
Yep, I love them.
That dude is one fast pistolero.
It's not fake at all, but yeah.
Yeah, and many, many years ago, late at night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, they used to have, it was black and white. I haven't been able to find it, but it's called Tinseltown Cowboys.
Okay.
And it was a Western. And there were, I don't know how many, several, but they were all, I don't know the politically correct way to say this, but the whole cast were midgets. And they had they rode miniature horses and had calves out there for cattle, and we would laugh and laugh and laugh. They were funny.
I've not heard of that one. I'll have to check that one out.
Tinseltown Cowboys.
So I just pulled it up here.
Golly, that was back in the 70s and early 80s.
Tinseltown Talks.
They were little people.
It's not even coming up on my search here. I'll have to find that one.
No.
What about, I figured you'd say Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, it's another classic. Of course, all the John Wayne, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Probably one of my
The train
favorites.
robberies, yeah, all those.
Yeah. Hey, watch out now.
Hey, I didn't say anything.
Lonesome Dove, Captain Call, Captain McCrae.
Yeah.
Old Blue Duck, all the old westerns. Green Berets with John Wayne. Yeah, they're always easy go-to.
Oh, yeah. You sit down and watch those all the time.
Apocalypse Now, for as crazy as it is.
I got to be in the mood for that one, though. That one's,
Yeah.
I got to be amped up for that.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, what is your next, as soon as you get the opportunity, you're gonna go out and you're gonna own it. What is your next want to have?
Get our shop finished so we can get vets and first responders in.
No,
man.
personal. Just personal. Be selfish about this.
It
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a gun or a knife or anything like that. It's just like, I've really been wanting one of those. I'm gonna go get it.
I have everything I could ever
Got
want.
it all, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Not a pair of shoes, maybe, or something like that, or maybe something
No.
for your next hunting outage. Like I could really use that on my next hunt.
No, I'm a minimalist. Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Ammo. I got lots of ammo.
Let's go to the next question then. The next question is: laws be damned, money be damned. rules be damned. Throw all that out the window. It doesn't matter. You could have or do anything that you want.
I could have anything I want.
You can have or do, or both.
An AH-6I, completely armed, and an endless supply of ammunition to include rockets.
Rockets and bullets.
Yeah.
And a
Yes,
mechanic to keep it up to specs.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I would have fun.
Now,
I get really cool helicopter hog hunts.
will you own one day? Will you buy your own personal one?
I could afford the insurance, man.
Shoot, you'll be able to afford one.
Nah.
What is your go-to beverage? What's your favorite beverage of choice? Could be anything. Sweet tea. I like sweet tea too, sir.
Or good Irish whiskey.
Is there a certain brand of Irish
Middleton's.
whiskey? Middleton's? I've heard of Middleton's, yeah.
Yeah, it's about $380 a bottle.
That's some good whiskey right there.
Yes, it is very good. Very good.
I'm a bourbon guy. I like bourbon.
Yeah, man. The bourbon world has exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. TX is really good. It's made right here in Fort Worth. I actually met the guys that started that company, and
oh yeah,
yeah.
Do they want to sponsor a podcast?
Pardon?
I said, do they want to sponsor a podcast?
I don't know, man. Get a hold of them. I'm sure they would.
TX. I like it.
Tell them I thank you.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good bourbon. Yeah.
So we talked about your pucker factor moment.
Yeah.
So in all your years of flying in all these strange and weird exotic places around the world, have you ever seen anything that you couldn't explain?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes. You're going to laugh.
No.
It was out there at Area 51 in Nevada.
You were in Area 51?
Well, we were outside looking in, but yeah, we were out there training. Yeah, I saw some odd stuff out and around there.
Describe it.
Lights. Yeah, where there shouldn't have been any lights. Very fast-moving objects.
Moving in ways that defy physics?
Anything and everything we had in the inventory, or anything I knew about, and I had the highest security clearance you could have.
What would your speculations be as to what you were seeing? Some
test aircraft, probably, or I don't know, man.
Something of ours, though, right? Not extraterrestrial.
No, not ET.
Yeah. So
no.
I take it you don't believe in extraterrestrials, aliens.
No, sir.
You believe that we
got plenty of aliens in south of the border here.
Coming across the border all the time.
Yeah, man. They're building an army. That's my theory.
Well, I mean, look at all the criminals and everything that are coming through. So it's got to be. And they're not just Mexicans. There's
the Middle Easterns.
Middle Easterns that are coming through.
Or Chechens, or better wake up, America.
Terrorist scum.
Terrorists. They're coming.
So you don't believe that there's life outside of Earth?
No.
In this vast cosmos that we are surrounded by?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
So what about this? On Earth, what about Bigfoot?
Man, I don't know. Or Nessie, Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, I pretty much ruled Nessie out. I don't.
Yeah, I did.
I think they've pretty much proven that there's no Loch Ness Monster, but Bigfoot now. There's It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Could be
I think it's probable.
probable. Plausible. It's plausible that there's a creature like Bigfoot running around.
Yeah.
If I put together a hunt to go hunt Bigfoot, not kill him, just
No, we'll just go hunting.
just to prove, that, would you go?
Absolutely, I go. I'd take me a pocket full of Slim Jims too.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Randy Macho Man Savage, remember that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That'd be fun.
What equipment would you take? What gear would you pack for that hunt, that trip?
Definitely AM6 night vision and a bunch of thermals. Yeah.
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 Some drones.
Oh yeah, drones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a couple helicopters. We can fly around,
If I get the money, I'm going to put together that hunt. I'll invite you.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we got it. We got to get your buddy that's got the little bird.
Yes.
And we'll kit it up with all the thermals and
You bet.
infrareds and LiDAR, everything.
Put a thermal pod on it and
Hell
go
yeah.
fly around.
I love that.
Attention business owners, are you ready to take your marketing game to the next level? Look no further than Black Tie Digital Marketing, the firearm-friendly, full-service agency that delivers results. We've worked with industry giants like Keltec, Spikes Tactical, and Armalite, and we even designed the kick-ass new logo at Talkin' Lead. At Black Tie, we blend creativity and data-driven strategies to ensure your message hits the mark every time. From high-end custom websites, graphic design, to inbound marketing campaigns, and everything in between, we've got you covered. Your success is our priority. Join the ranks of the industry's top players and give your business the boost it deserves. Experience the power of Black Tie today. Visit blacktiedigital.com or call 1-800-316-8030 to schedule your free consultation. That's Black Tie Digital Marketing, where firepower meets marketing power. Black Tie Digital Marketing is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
Is there a piece of kit or gear that you used during your service that maybe you're a little ashamed to admit that you used?
Piece of gear, kit, ashamed that I used.
Yeah.
Baby wipes.
That if your friends found out about it, they'd bust your chops over it.
Nah, we all use baby wipes.
It just makes you fresh and so clean.
Pardon?
I said they just make you fresh and so clean.
Oh yeah,
I use
that's
baby
part of-
wipes today.
We called it our shit kit. So you had Charmin and a big Ziploc and some baby wipes. Man, dude, it's like
Yeah.
no. And I'm a minimalist and proudly a Boy Scout, and they were a huge part of my upbringing and as a young man, as a kid to a teenager to and I had amazing scoutmasters. One of them, Vietnam vet. We'd go out camping and we would learn how to set booby traps.
It's more survivalist than anything, right?
LPOPs and oh man, he was just the coolest. He's one of my heroes.
That's how the Boy Scouts should be.
It should be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it as a scoutmaster today. So.
Oh no. You identify too masculine.
Yes.
Toxic masculinity.
You're intimidating my child. Yeah, well.
My little girl. Because girls are in the Boy Scouts now. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of broke my heart.
Yeah, mine too. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
All right, next question. This is the last one.
Okay.
Final question. If you could spend the day at the range with anyone, it could be a group of people, it could be one person, they could be fictional, alive, or dead.
Fictional, alive, or dead?
Yeah. Who would you like to spend the day at the range with?
Well, Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, Theodore. Okay. Teddy bear was named after him.
President Roosevelt. Him, and then I would like to have the two captains, so Captain McCrae and Captain Call with me.
There you go.
That'd be a hoot.
That'd be a fun
man.
group. Yeah.
I think the old Rough Rider Roosevelt and those Texas Rangers would have a good time.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. If you could pick any era firearm and that's what you had to run with, what era firearm would you go with?
Modern day.
You do the modern day firearms?
Now, and I'll precede it with this. Modern day, but the 1911.
That's still modern day.
Oh, yes. And, those Grand, M1 Grand.
Yeah.
And I own them both. And
let me ask you this. I do this show. It's called the AK Corner.
Yes.
And we just talk AKs on there. And given the missions and your tours of duty where you served, did you have any experience with the AKs?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, we learned them and fired them, and great weapons. I mean, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're designed to work. Not real accurate, but doggone, man, they sure have taken a lot of American lives and others. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one.
You got one?
Yeah, never been fired and only dropped once.
Is it a Russian made? Do you know?
Yes.
It's a Russian made. Very nice.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show me that off air. I'd like to see that.
Yes, sir.
I'm into AKs. I got
I saw that. That's cool.
Got a couple of AKs there. Well, let's go ahead and award our winner now.
Cool.
For our swag, it was, what are they going to get? A hat and a couple of patches? And a book?
A hat, their choice of the three there. Blades for Brothers, Shield 9-1, and Death Waits in the Dark, and then some stickers, same.
Okay, very cool. So, going to get a nice swag package from Greg, Brothers with Blades. Of the questions that I read, do you remember the ones I read? Which was your favorite out of those?
Doggone it.
Let me go through and read them again.
There was one that's, I don't remember his handle. But he asked about favorite helicopter and why.
Favorite helicopter, let's see. I think that's what I asked. That was me.
Oh, was it?
Let's see.
I thought there was a...
What's your favorite blade shape for fighting versus favorite make? Looking forward to our chat. What is your favorite aircraft to fly and why?
Yes.
That's the one. That is Jared Link.
Jared.
GERARD.link. Jared, you are the winner of Greg's swag pack. So email me, talkingled@gmail.com. Going to need your mailing address. And
email, I'll send him an Audible book too.
There you go, in your email, and you get the Audible book. So congratulations, and appreciate everyone taking the time. Sorry for the questions. Sorry for the late post. I normally get the post out quicker than I did, Greg, to give everybody an opportunity. So if you didn't have an opportunity and you still have questions for Greg, you can get in touch with Greg. You can go to that website. You're on Instagram too at the Blades for Brothers, right?
Yes, sir. Shield 91 is and then Blades for Brothers, Facebook, Instagram.
What, you got a personal one?
Yeah, Shield 91.
Oh, am I following that? I don't think I am.
You should.
I need to be. SHIELD Shield 91.
Yes, sir.
There you are, right there. Okay. And now I am following you. I just corrected myself.
Oh, cool.
So I thought the Blades for Brothers was the only one that you had. So that's...
No, I've had Shield 91 that's my company, my training company, and Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, real quick, Lefty. So one of my Blades for Brothers vets, he started coming in here, and he was one of the vets that I gifted a grinder to here a couple weeks ago. And this dude, he's on fire, man. But he made this blade, right? We made the Damascus steel right here.
Oh, yeah.
He just started making knives. Look at this thing. I mean, he's got hand-filed vine on the...
He's been watching Forged in Fire, hasn't he?
He's been watching something. But
That's
I mean,
beautiful.
This thing's beautiful. He gifted it to us.
Oh.
He was a combat engineer in the Army, Purple Heart recipient, and we're raffling it off. $20. $20.
$20 a
Buy
ticket?
your raffle ticket.
And where can they do that at?
At Blades for Brothers.
It's on Blades for Brothers? Okay.
Yeah. You can, and I just put it on my Instagram, on Blades for Brothers Instagram. His call sign on Instagram is Sapper Yoda, YOTA. He donated one of his first blades. I mean, this thing's beautiful. It's Damascus steel. It's cool. But yeah, $20 buys you a raffle ticket, and then it's only 2 days are left too.
Okay. Well, by the time they hear this, it'll be over with. This ain't going out till next week. So.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry.
No worries.
This is our first episode in October. So
good.
Greg, we've had this awesome big ass giveaway that we've been doing through the month of September, and Jared took place in it with STA Blades. He donated a blade for that giveaway, and it's one person's going to win everything. It's over $6,000 in prizes. We gave away 3 guns. There's a pistol, rifle, shotgun. There's a gun case that would hold all that. We gave ammo for your firearms, custom holsters. There's our new logo swag, which I don't have any of my new logo swag on today, but we've got that. We've got optics for the firearms from Vortex, Enforce lights for the weapon lights that are on there.
Nice.
Ear Pro, Eye Pro, everything. So I appreciate everybody taking part in our giveaway. It was awesome. We had thousands and thousands of entrants in that.
Good.
And congratulations to our winner.
Congratulations. Yeah.
So, Greg, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Some of the best stories I've heard, and they only get better in his book. So, guys, make sure you go and get Greg's book. And you can go to the website. Do you have your own website for the book also?
Yes, it's on bladesforbrothers.com.
Okay, go to bladesforbrothers.com.
Everything instead of having 3 and 4 websites, I just put it all in one.
Combined it right there.
Yeah.
And Crusader Forge, is that the name of your forge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like it. I like your logo. Again, fellow brothers in search of light.
We are on a crusade.
We are. Whether you
like it or not.
There is a crusade out there. So, Leadheads, go support all our sponsors, all the companies and people that make this show possible each and every week. Mission First Tactical, SEAL 1, Factory 47, Defiant Munitions, Kel-Tec, our good buddies at Kel-Tec Weapons. Let's show them the love and let them know how much you appreciate it so we can get them back, and they will continue. So our Skype just got shut down. We probably went over our time limit. I don't know what the deal was there. But again, go show all of our sponsors the love, especially Kel-Tec, and use those discount codes. Get them out in all the other shows. I'll get them out real quick again. Kel-Tec is Leadhead. Get 15% off. Mission First Tacticals, Leadhead. You get 20% off. SEAL 1. You use the code Leadhead, get 25% off there. Factory 47 for our AK Corner logo items. Leadhead, you get 10% off there. Defiant Munitions, all caps, Leadhead, 10% off Defiant Munitions. Medicine in Bad Places, Leadhead or Leadhead 20. One of those will work. It'll get you 20% off. Medicine in Bad Places. And then lockdown, you use the code LEADHEAD, get 10% off. Kraken cases, Talking Lead, 10% off. And then, of course, our sponsors, 4 Patriots. Always be prepared with any disaster in your life, catastrophe, unforeseen mishap. 4 Patriots has anything and everything you need there for power, for food, for water. Check them out, 4patriots.com. All caps Leadhead, 10% off your first purchase. So, Leadheads, until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer.
And always remember, if it ain't written, it never happened.
It never happened.